Whoa. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. Look at this fantastic day we're in today. Today's the day we're in. It is fantastic. So I thought I got an email the other day from a young person asking a valuable question. And inside the question is the riddle with the answer. Inside the riddle, that's the answer. So first off, to the young man who wrote the email, this is not to blast you or make you feel uncomfortable or anything of the sort. You will not be named. And I think your email is general enough where no one can track you down. And again, you're not the only one who's going through any of this. So that's why I figured I would just do it this way, because this is what I do. This is what happens, man. It's how we do it. So I'll read the email and then I'll get into it, dude. I'm a 31-year-old male and have been shy around girls and women since I was young. I thought it would go away as I matured. It has improved quite a bit, but I'm still there. I lost 2 girls I was in love with because of it. I could not meet them sober, so I lost them in the end. When I was in love, I would drink instead of giving them the time. I'm not an alcoholic by any means. Can go off it quite easily. I'm currently off it, but still the shyness is still there. I go to the gym, go running, study, and I'm learning a language, so I am trying to improve myself all the time. I think the right thing to have done was to keep meeting them instead of drink and hope the anxiety decreases as well as we became more comfortable with each other. Maybe I was being a coward. I don't know. I haven't told many people this, so I'm telling you. Okay, your brain works differently, so I'd be interested in your perspective. I got a different working brain. No, I think so right off the bat, self-improvement's what it's always about. Like, yeah, keep going to the gym, learning a new language, studying. That takes care of the mind. That's super important to feed the mind, man. Feed the mind, feed the soul, keep building upon your foundation. But I think what's telling in this email, and I think a lot of people don't see the forest through the trees, right? In order to answer this, first of all, I didn't read this email with an agenda. I don't have an agenda. Yes, I am a sober human being who was heavily alcoholic once upon a time in his life, but I do not view life through the lens of a recovering alcoholic in the sense that I attribute every problem to alcoholism on a specific level. I think the general issue on Spaceship Earth might be alcohol related to cover up the spiritual malady. But as far as individuals go or questions, I don't immediately go to that. But with that said, since I didn't bring it up, it was brought up by the email sender. And what I will tell you is when we write, whether it's type or pen to paper, our subconscious is doing a lot of the driving, man. So when I read this email right here, it reeks to me that the truth is trying to come out and that the question isn't about the girls, because you address the girl situation pretty basically, dude, because yes, being shy, that's not a deficit. That's just something you learn. And you state that very clearly, that you've improved with it over time, dude. I thought it would go away as I matured. It has improved. So it is improving. It is improving as you mature. And I think that is what maturity is all about, is getting more comfortable with yourself all the time. And as you become more comfortable with yourself, the less shyer you get, because shyness is the ego hiding yourself from the outside world because you're afraid of judgment, right? But I think what we go here is this has got nothing to do with shyness, dude, or anxiety. This has to do with what may or may not be alcoholism. Again, is the interesting thing with alcoholism is it's a self-diagnosed reality. And the tell is this, and this is where the flashing red lights go off for me, is I lost 2 girls. I could not meet them sober, so I lost them in the end. When I was in love, I would drink instead of giving them time. So we have the mention of alcohol twice before we get to the third mention of it, which is I'm not an alcoholic by any means, can get off it quite easily. So part of the hustle and the scam is not understanding what being an alcoholic is. And you state very clearly what it is in this thing. And it's got nothing to do with you can put the bottle down, or you, like, many people can control it. Like alcoholism, part of alcoholism is the ability to control it, to stay drunk, or use it as a tool that no longer works anymore, right? So if alcohol might have worked in the beginning, like it got you the courage to go talk to the girl, but you state very clearly that alcohol killed the relationship in the end, right? I can get off it quite easily, but the shyness is there. I think the right thing to have done was keep meeting them instead of drink, and hope the anxiety decreased as we became more comfortable with each other. Dude, so, oh, here it is. When I was in love, I would drink instead of giving them time, dude. Wait. I have to because I think it isn't proven quite. I lost 2 girls I was in love with because of it. I could not meet them sober and lost them in the end. When I was in love, I would drink instead of giving them time. I'm not an alcoholic. Okay. So what this is alcohol is not about how much you drink or when you drink. It's about what you're using it for, right? And so from reading this email, it seems to me that there's consequences involved. Like normal people, and again, I'm not saying that you're abnormal. Normal people who don't have the problem of alcoholism, it doesn't come up, right? They're not sitting there assessing the situation that went wrong in their life and be like, oh, it's because I drank too much. Most people don't do that to themselves. But if you're an alcoholic, you're looking at the one thing you're doing that's causing all the trouble, and it's apparently the drinking. That you're drinking, and it says very clearly, I would drink instead of giving them time, dude. So you went to all this trouble as a shy person to meet a girl, which in itself dispels the shyness, right? You had 2 girls already, and you lost both of them because you were drinking. You didn't lose them because of your shyness. You state very clearly, I lost them both because I would drink instead of giving them time. To me, it's one's more important than the other to you, right? Because if the girl is more important than the drink, then it's not a non-issue. But that's not the case. The drink is more important than the girl, which is why you lose the girl, right? And so you're asking yourself, what's the problem? And what I would say is you state it very clearly what the problem is. You rather drink than hang out with the girl that you got in spite of your shyness and anxiety, right? So the premise that most people have who are shy and anxiety, who are having troubles with girls, they don't get any girls. They're not getting any girls, dude. It's got nothing to do with them drinking, dude. The fact is you're getting the girls. So let's scrub the shyness, anxiety thing out. You can't keep the girls. You can get the girls, but you can't keep the girls. And why can't you keep the girls? Well, because you're going and drinking. And so what I would say is alcoholism is very deceptive in the sense that it gives you a cover story. So your cover story is, I can go off it quite easily. Like when you when you hear that, I can go off it quite easily. That is not a normal person who drinks alcohol's perspective of alcohol. A normal person doesn't think twice about it. A normal person isn't sitting there going, I can get off it quite easily when I want to. It's a non-issue. It's like driving a car for them. They get in the car, they go drive around, they get out of the car, they go inside the house. They aren't thinking that the reason that they're late for dinner is they were driving a car. You get what I'm saying? Is the car isn't the reason they got into an argument with their wife. The car isn't the reason that they're late with their bills, dude. They don't have to get off the car, dude, right? They can easily park the car, right? Like, people just get in the car, go do their stuff, park the car, and whatever happens, right? But the alcoholic sees the car constantly as the car. So what I'm getting at is I would look more deeply into this email for yourself and view it from an outside perspective, and why, if you're sending an email asking questions about anxiety with girls, is the main subject underneath it all alcohol. Like, again, I think that's why you're writing the email, is because you know you have a problem with alcohol, but you don't want to admit it to yourself. So how do you go about doing that? And you write a letter to me and I go, yeah, this is all about alcohol. 100%, dude. That's what this is all about. But again, alcohol is not the problem. It's a spiritual situation, dude. It's fear of oneself, right? So when we get to it, it very much isn't even the alcohol. It's what underneath the alcohol. And the reason that you drink the alcohol is because you're afraid of something within inside of yourself that you're afraid will radiate to this other person. And shyness and anxiety is just an excuse, dude. Like I said in the beginning, the reason you're shy and have anxiety about it is because you're afraid of what's really inside of yourself, dude. And I think that's where most people miss the boat on this thing is the shyness and anxiety, again, is a symptom of something else. So it's easy to label it and move on, dude. That's a fence back there and you move on, dude. You don't actually think about what the fence is for, right? So what is the fence for, right? Like, it's just a fence, right? Well, what's the fence for? Well, it's to keep animals out, right? Well, okay, that's what the fence is for, but why do I need to keep animals out, dude? Right? Because they'll eat my vegetables, dude. Or they'll escape and they'll run around the neighborhood or whatever it is. The fence is, call it shyness and anxiety. But on the other side of the fence is the real problem, dude. Yeah, you can look at a fence all day long, and if you don't understand what's on the other side of the fence, why would you have a fence, right? You don't need a fence if you don't have a reason for a fence. Most people aren't putting up fences for looks, dude. You can go to many places where people don't need fences and they don't have fences. We put fences up for a reason. Those fences are shyness and anxiety, because on the other side of that fence is the real issue. And I think on this is fine. You may or may not be an alcoholic. I don't think that's even that important to figure out. It's to just figure out why you're spending more time drinking instead of hanging out with the girls that you told yourself you couldn't get because of your shyness and anxiety, right? And so with that said, is that scratch under the surface a couple layers deep, right? And when you say it's not something, that's usually what it is, dude. So maybe try to take a look at the alcohol situation and really take an honest look at it, not a fear-based look. Because again, nobody wants to admit they're an alcoholic, dude. Nobody wants to admit they have trouble with alcohol. It sucks, dude. It sucks to have that be a truth. But denial is 90% of the problem with the cure, right? Like you can't fix the problem if you're not willing to look at the main issue. There's no point having a fence, if it doesn't go all the way around, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no point having a car with 3 tires. So if your car is sitting in the driveway and why can't my car drive? But you're missing a tire, but you don't want to, but you're like, I don't need tires, dude. Tires isn't my problem, but your car only has 3 tires, dude. Right? Like it's like that. I know it's sort of convoluted because I've used both those metaphors differently in the same video. But what I'm getting at is not looking at the real problem is the problem. So there's another layer to the problem, is you got to look at the real problem. So how do you get to the problem? Well, the first thing you have to do is admit that you don't want to look at the problem. Okay, well, if you can admit you don't want to look at the problem, by default, you've acknowledged there is a problem. So that's a win right there. Just admitting you don't want to look at the problem means there is a problem. Well, what is the problem you don't want to look at? It might be alcohol. Okay, well, why don't I want to look at that as a possible problem? Why do I not want to cross that on the list? Why do I want to think all my solutions are the gym, running, studying, learning a language? None of those things are going to fix the problem if you get the girl and then you go to the bar and drink, or you spend your time drinking with the boys, dude, right? That's what I'm trying to say is if the problem was you're not fit enough, there would be a different email. If the problem was the fact you're not quick enough, it would be a different email. Or you couldn't speak another language. Those aren't the answers. Those are just things you're doing to not look at the answer. And I think that on a certain level, that's the trick with some of these problems, is it's hard to admit what the problem is because we don't want to admit the problem, dude. Because if we admit that problem, then it fixes itself. And you have to remember that alcoholism, if that is the problem, I don't know. But if it is the problem, alcoholism doesn't want to be discovered. Alcoholism has a full desire to remain alive and well inside the human spirit and soul, dude. Alcoholism is, remember, an imposter, an infiltrator, a mimicker, dude. So it is living in you. You are the host for the parasite of alcohol. Alcohol is doing everything it can to defend. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, dude. That's alcoholism is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, dude. And so that's why it's going to do that thing. And it says, I can go off it quite easily, dude. And I would just say that is not what a person who doesn't have a problem with alcohol would think. A person who doesn't have a problem doesn't think like that. It's a non-issue. I know plenty of people that drink normally and they don't view it in any way like us as people who do have a problem with it view it. They just go and have some drinks and it's all good, dude. They don't need to put it down or get off it or it doesn't make problems in their life, dude. It's a non-issue, dude. It's like milk. Like, to use another thing, milk is a non-issue to me. Sometimes I put it in my coffee, dude, paraplegic brown coffee, but I don't have to put it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even come across my brain as a problem, dude. Like, there's plenty of people who drink too much milk, for sure, dude. It's a problem. But I hope that helped my brother out there. Yeah, send me a follow-up email. And if you don't like this video, of course, I will pull it down. But, that's not what we're really about here, is it? Anyway, if you like what's going on, links down, join, become a member, hit the like and subscribe button. The most important thing you can do is take care of yourself and use the name tags of the people around you. Thank you, and God has blessed us.